Hi, I'm Julie Schmidt. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how I make my law school notes. I was top of 13 papers while studying at AUT, and I accredit heaps of my success to my super unique, color-coded and concise law notes. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through how I do it. I'm going to take a set of class notes or lecture notes and use my notes template, which you can get on my website. And I'm going to turn them into super concise, easy to read, just perfect exam notes. All right, let's do it. So to make my notes in my special style, go to my website, julieschmidtlaw.com. You can get my notes template here. You can also make your own, but if you want to just speed up the process, you can get my notes template here. So I've got it open already. So what I'm going to do is save as, get my employment law notes. So what these notes are, I sell these ones on my website, but they're 52 pages and I sell them for cheaper because they're not super concise. So I can show you two ways that you can go about using my notes template. The first way is you can copy and paste everything from week 1 into here and go through and shorten it as you go. Subheadings here. So you can go like that. I'm going to take that color away by using this one up here. No color. Okay. And I'm going to add a little arrow so that you can, so I show it's important that that's where the test comes from. I don't know why the emojis jump like that, but I do little workarounds as you can see. So the test is in 103A and there are two ways. Two justifications for getting fired. Use this little paintbrush and that copies the exact thing in the exact format of that. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. But what I want to do is, before I get into like this case and all this sort of stuff, I just want a quick overview of the test so that when I first look at this section, I can see the test. So I'm going to go to 103A. Test for justification. So that's the test. That means like it's not the only option, but what's the way that person was fired? What a reasonable employer could have done. Not the only reason. So I'll add that. It's not the only option an employer could have done, but one of the available options. That's a little bit of an explanation. I'm going to just get that into my paint palette. Okay, and see how that's quite long. So it's whether, I'm just going to shorten it so it's easier to read. And then I'm going to write could, meaning not the only option, but one of the available options. So we've got a test, and that's the test here. Maybe I'll just do down here actually, that's more important. So you can see I've got the test up here, and then I don't think that really needs to be bold. You can see I'm very particular because once it looks right, it just gets into my brain. So, okay, 2 justifications for getting fired. Procedural fairness. All right, that's looking pretty good. So this stuff is like, I'm going to delete that because this was the first lecture of the year, so there was just a bit of like explanation about the topic in general. So pretty ruthless with my cutting. So, you know, I'm gonna just delete this for now as well. It's just too much. We're back to 103A, and it says it's an objective test. I'm going to say objective test because my little like it's following on from the 103A test. So we've got the meaning of could, and we've got 2 justifications. Now we've got objective test. That kind of goes together with the meaning of could. It's actually maybe more important that it's an objective test. Not only not the only option in the employer, but one of the available options. Okay, these are things to consider when applying to. So even though this isn't just from my lecture notes, I think it's like a good overview, and I'm going to shorten it a bit now. So I'm going to take this format button and make it all the same. Then I'm going to make it all here. Okay, so I'm just going to go, the employer sufficiently investigated the allegations before dismissing or taking action against employee. So we can shorten that so it's easy to read. And it's not quite right. It needs to be here. Employee investigated allegations before it's because we're talking about unjustified dismissal here. I'm just going to keep it to firing. And I'm just going to highlight a few words. So we've got investigated allegations. And I'm going to actually make that color a bit lighter so you can see the contrast. That's too light. I think that's too much for me. You can see I spend a long time doing this. Just once you get it looking good, it gets into your head, and like this, the design of it helps you understand because you get it all in a logical order. Okay, whether the employee genuinely considered employee's explanation before firing them. Okay, I'm thinking that's pretty good now. I think I'm gonna keep this this color for the sections. So let's just look at the difference now. We've got like week 1, unjustified dismissal. Here's the test, where it comes from. It's an objective test. What meaning of could is, some justifications for getting fired. It's also the test for unjustified disadvantage. Things to consider when deciding the above test. So like that's looking pretty good. I'm liking that a lot. And when you compare it to this, it's a lot easier to read. Like in an exam, someone gets fired. So then you just look at this and you're straight away like, boom, you know, it's all right here. I want to keep going on this, but I'm aware this is probably getting a bit boring. So I'm going to move to the next color. Let's just do employees or contractors, week 4. So I'm just going to use this color because I like it. Very scientific, right? So let's just go employee or contractors. I think that's nice and clear. Okay, so I've got a massive case summary here. So I don't really want to start with a case summary. Okay, so now this is the good stuff, a definition of an employee. So you can see this is that. We turn this whole thing into that. So that's good. Because in an exam you don't need to read all about the whys. It's just good background knowledge and really good to know, but just that's looking pretty good, but it's not really saying much about the definition really, so we'll need to do some work on that. So you can see I'm not just copying and pasting the sections. I'm like putting in my own words so it's easier. So when I go to an exam, that's still too long. I'm just going to write critical issue. If not an employee. If not employee, miss out on benefits. As some statutes only apply to employees. So that kind of sums it up shorter. Okay, I like that because it's like in reality we're going to get a legal question. We're going to need this sort of stuff. We're not going to need the why, so it's just there to remind us why it's important, and that's good, but yeah. Okay, I think that can go back up here. All right, so that's looking cool. And you can see it takes a lot of going back and forward, and like looking at your notes. And to be honest, since I know employment law so well, I could breeze through this quite quickly. But in reality, if you didn't know it, you'd have to Google all that and be like, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Yeah, then I would go through and add these in. So you can see my notes have taken me a lot of work because I have done this. Like that was, I don't know how long that was, 10 minutes. And all I got was this and this. And that's not even like, I will edit those so many times before I'm finished. When it's all in this order and format, it's just easier to learn. You don't want stuff all mushed up. You want it to be like the most important stuff at the start, and then, yeah. And that is how you make your own law school notes in my special style. If you want to buy any of my notes, you can get them online at julieschmidtlaw.com. Otherwise, please download my free guide on how to make law school exam notes in my style. It is also on my website and it is super popular. People have been loving that free guide. All right, thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe and like if you don't mind doing all that stuff to help with my algorithms. All right, and see you next video. Bye.